friends, it's Mrs. Burke again, and I'm here to give you a little tutorial on our fancy fish assignment. So first you would go into your directions and then go to add or create, which is going to have this plus sign, and we drop down to drawings. As soon as it's done creating, we can click on it and begin creating our Google drawing. So you can see here it already put my name and the title of the project in, which is excellent. And so now all I have to do is create my drawing. Now, the title of this project was Fancy Fish. So the first thing I need to do is think about what type of fish body I want. And I think I'm going to choose a teardrop. But I'm going to turn it. So in order to turn it, I'm going to use this little toggle right here at the top and turn it to this side. This is going to be the body of my fish. Now I need to decide what color I want my fish to be. When I'm using color, I need to click on my shape and then come up here into the bucket. I think I want my fish to be a nice light orange color, kind of like a goldfish. Now I'm going to add the tail of my fish. I think that it would be really interesting to use this crescent moon shape kind of as a tail. So we're going to see what happens. I think I'm going to give my fish a really long tail. And again, I'm going to change the color to match the rest of my image. Now I need to move the head over a little bit because I made my tail really long. And fish always have fins on top. That's to help keep them balanced. So let's see what kind of top fin I want. I think I'm going to go with that teardrop shape again. I really like that shape today. But I think I'm going to make it longer and skinnier. And then again, I'm going to turn it a little bit and layer it over the top. Now, I think I need to make that a little taller maybe. And turn it a little more. And again, I will go through and match my color. Ooh, that would actually make a really nice fin if I turned it over. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press Control D, which stands for duplicate, and then I'm going to take this side and just flip it over. So I have a fin to go down here. And I will put my fin up top. Now, what I want to do is add in the eyeball for my fish. So I'm going to go to my shapes and give myself a little circle eye. And I think I want that one to be white. Then I'm going to add in another shape for my pupil. You guys know how I love for everything to always have a pupil. And I'm going to make that one black. So this is going to be a little bit tricky to drag and click, but I think I did okay. Now comes the tricky part, where we want to add details to our fish. So that could be things like adding maybe little fish lips, a little fish lip shape that I'm going to flip this direction. Little fish lips. And again, I'm going to change into my orange color. I could also add in different types of lines. So when I click on the line button, at first it only gives me the option to add in some straight lines. But if we go and we click on one of those lines, then I have the option here to make it different type. I also have the option to make it thicker or thinner using this 3-line system. So there we can see I have a really thick line, and there's the thin line again. So I think I'm going to keep my line straight, and it looks like it adds some texture. Oops, I accidentally made a mistake, so I will just delete that. We could also add in some fish scales using maybe this shape right here. So I'm going to add in a little scale like this, color it the color that I wanted, but then watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to click on it and I'm going to duplicate it. So again, I'm doing that Control D for duplicate. And I'm going to add it one on top of the other like this. Then I'm going to click on that one, hold the Shift button, and click on the other one, and then do my my Control D for duplicate. And now I have two at the same time that I can move and put next to each other. Now I can grab all of those. So all I did was I took my mouse and I grabbed it like that, and I can put all of those and move them at the same time and put them there. And again, I can do my duplicate, and now I have a lot of different scales on my fish. Now, if these ones are too far in the front, oh, let me undo that. These 4 scales are still pretty far in the front, and I wanted them to be behind. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take and I'm going to click on these scales, and I'm going to say move to front. So the way I do that is I go to Arrange, Order, and Bring to Front. Now those are on top of my other scales that were in the back. So now I can take and I can move these ones, and I can move those back underneath, and it looks like I have scales on my fish. Please add more detail to your fish, definitely. But to keep this video nice and short, I'm going to go ahead and finish up with my background. So I'm going to go to the mountains and search the web. As I search, I might want to search the ocean or underwater or maybe even a fish tank. So here we see a lot of realistic looking pictures of fish tanks. I kind of like this one right here. So I'm going to insert that into my picture and make it nice and big so that I have room for my fish to fit inside the tank here. Now sometimes if there's a lot of empty space on the side of my picture, what I like to do is crop it. It's this that looks like an L and a 7 together. So when I click the crop button, you can see my lines turn black, and all I have to do is drag them in, make it a little shorter, and then I press the Enter or Return button on my computer, and it makes it smaller. Now I can make my fish tank a little bit wider so that I know my fish will fit in. But unfortunately, that covered up my whole fish. So what I need to do is make sure that I click on this picture, and then I'm going to go to Arrange, Order, and Send to the back. I don't want to just send backwards because that'll only put it behind the last thing I did. I want to send it all the way to the back. So now my fish is in the tank. I might need to move my fish a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of drag my fish down. Oh, but you can see that didn't move everything else. So I need to undo that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just move my background to the side for a second. And I'm going to make a box over my fish. So now I know I can move my fish down, and then I can put my background back, and my fish is in the water. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial and are having fun with these projects. Remember, at the end, don't forget, you have to go back and you have to click on Turn It In, and click a second time. Then your work will be turned in, and Mrs. Burke will do a happy dance. Have a great afternoon, everyone.